A good evening, our dear listener. Welcome to Explorer Online Radio, the home of reliable and authentic news. Today is the 10th of July 2023, and bringing you the 9 p.m. news is Murunji Sheila. First, the headlines. Election observers welcome the president's proposal to use electronic voting. Abletong district rejects lowest cases of teenage pregnancies. Court orders KCCA to allow Watoto Church to develop its property. And President Ruto chairs first IGAD meeting on Sudan peace. Here is the news in detail. Election observers have welcomed President Museveni's proposal to adopt the use of electronic voting in future elections to avoid malpractice. The president's proposal follows irregularities witnessed during the just concluded Oyam North parliamentary by-election that was won by Uganda People's Congress, Dr. Eunice Apio. This, he said, can be avoided by adopting electronic voting and the use of thumbprints. I insist that all voting must be electronic, using thumbprints. How then does a pre-ticking come in? Are some people still allowing non-electronic voting? Said the president. Earlier, the president had condemned similar vices in the Bukedia by-election held last month and ordered special investigations that have since seen several police officers and a councillor arrested by the State House Anti-Corruption Court. Members of the business community in Ruchiga district are asking the government to prioritize raising awareness on road safety to reduce carnage. This follows the death of businessman Apollo Nyegamahe in a road crash last Thursday. The vehicle in which he was traveling rammed into a stationary fuso lorry at Itojo along the Mbara-Kabale highway. Specifically, the business people in Muhanga say it is unfortunate that they have lost a strong pillar due to preventable death. A requiem mass was held this morning at Rubaga Cathedral in honor of Nyegamahe, commonly known as Aponye, who was also at the time of demise the NRM chairperson of Ruchiga district. The body will tomorrow be taken to St. Luke Muhinga Church in Ruchiga district, where he will be laid to rest at his ancestral home on Wednesday. Moving on, according to a recent research, National Population Council has revealed that Abletong district registered the lowest cases of teenage pregnancies at 2,190 cases in Lango sub-region. According to the study's findings, Oyam had the most adolescent pregnancies with 4,448, followed by Lira with 3,871, Kole 3,186, Dokolo 2,363, and Kwanier with 2,332. The National Population Council's Program Officer, Mr. Eric Ntenge, attributes the low rates of adolescent pregnancies to public awareness campaigns about the risks of teen pregnancy. We, as government, commend the district for their efforts in controlling and lowering the high rate of teenage pregnancy, as issues of teenage pregnancy are very alarming in controlling population growth and national development, he said. According to him, that is the reason why Abletong district has been chosen to host this year's World Population Day, which is slated for 11th July 2023 at the Aboma ground. Mr. Simon Oduo, the deputy head teacher of Aloy Secondary School, attributes the reduced teenage pregnancies in the district to the policy of not chasing students away from school over unpaid school fees. The Uganda Revenue Authority has been contacted by auto importers to arrange a meeting to discuss the proposed digital auto number plate program. After receiving the directive from the Inspectorate of Government, the government put a hold on the plan's execution until October 30th. The State Minister for Works, Honorable Fred Biamukama, claims that the contractor reportedly did not deliver the consignment on schedule. Malik Azaha, the chairman of the Delight Car Dealers Association, claims that although respecting the government's security considerations that led to the adoption of digital number plates, they were never asked for their comments. He claims the project will affect their business if it is implemented without any changes to suit their concerns, especially those linked to prices. He implores the Ministry of Works and the URA to pay attention to them. And in more news, the High Court Civil Division in Kampala has ordered Kampala Capital City Authority and the National Physical Planning Board to allow Watoto Church to proceed with its plan of redeveloping its property on Kampala Road. The High Court Civil Division Judge, Justice Douglas Singiza, noted that there was no enabling law that KCCA relied on to list Watoto Church current downtown building as one of the National Heritage buildings in the city as a basis to reject their bid for redevelopment of the property. It is my judgment that the absence of any bylaw by KCCA listing the Watoto Church property as a national heritage is unreasonably wrong for KCCA and the NPPB not to approve the mixed-use development plans of the Watoto Church, Justice Singiza ruled. Watoto seeks to develop the facility into a 12-storied complex with conference facilities, 3-star hotel, a 3,000-seater auditorium, and retail outlets. He therefore directed KCCA and the NPPB to within 3 months reconsider the Watoto Church mixed-use development plans application from the date of his ruling. And in our last story, President William Ruto is currently chairing the inaugural high-level meeting on the Sudan peace process in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Other than Kenya, South Sudan, Ethiopia, and Djibouti are also part of the peace meeting. State House spokesperson Hussein Muhammad in a statement said the 4 countries will have their discussions focused on how to stop hostility between the 2 warring factions and to enable humanitarian aid access. They will also discuss steps that can be taken to have an inclusive civilian process that will lead to the lasting peace in Sudan. The focus, among others, is to achieve a cessation of hostilities, facilitate humanitarian access, and undertake concrete steps in support of an inclusive civilian Sudanese process that leads to sustainable peace in Sudan, Hussein said. This brings us to the end of the 9 p.m. news. Thank you for listening in to Explore Online Radio. Have a blessed evening.